responsible thing to do right now, if you're an American living abroad, is to come home. So I did leave the country, but I want to be clear. I didn't leave because of America. I came to England because America provided me with such incredible prosperity that I had the opportunity to go experience something different. And the plan was always be here for 4 years and then move back. And that's what I'm going to do in about 6 months. I also want to move back a little bit early because I'm so freaked out about the U.S. Is it the responsible thing to do as a parent to leave the country? It's so situational. If you have family and a support system and economic opportunity in a great Western country like Germany or Spain or some cool place in Asia or Singapore, yeah, knock yourself out just for the experience. But just leaving America, as up as America is, it's still a lot less up than most places.
What do I do when a lot of my family and friends are trying to convince me to not move to Mexico? Mainly my husband's family. Like, we can sit and list the long ass list of pros with like very little cons, but the cons are just thrown. And that's like the only thing they see. How we're gonna get a job, how we're gonna make money. And the thing is, my husband's family is Mexican. They've lived in Mexico, but the area that they lived in is nothing like the area we're moving to. Like, it's not even comparable. Like, how is it that Mexicans have fallen for American propaganda of Mexico? Because where we're moving is amazing. It's thriving. We're moving to Playa del Carmen, Mexico. It's like 30 minutes from Cancun. They're acting like where we're moving isn't safe or livable. We want our kids to be a majority, not a minority. I want to be a majority and not a minority. Real food, affordable healthcare, tropical beaches, jungle, not having to fear for our safety due to racism, diversity, Trump not being our president. It's affordable and we can live comfortably. Like, what about that isn't worth it? Like, I'm confused. We were finally able to escape the United States and we're having to move back already. Not even 2 months after. The reason being that our 4-year-old son got extremely sick the first week that we were here. He had a terrible fever, was throwing up blood, terrible diarrhea, his whole body was in terrible pain, he was screaming in pain and agony for days. Even after we took him to the doctor and they gave him different medication, he ended up having a bacterial infection in his stomach and his body. And since then, he has recovered, but he's still having really bad lingering problems. And we're starting to think that he has an autoimmune disorder. So with that, we're having to go to the States to get him the proper care. We've had to spend hundreds, thousands of dollars out of pocket that we were not planning on. So now, we're going back to the United States to get our son the care that he needs. And we're having to let go of this dream of living here in Mexico. Are we going to get a bunch of I told you so's? Probably. But there was no way that we could prevent our son getting this sick. We were not expecting these hospital bills, medication. I feel really sad because we got rid of everything in the United States. We got rid of our home, our car, our jobs, and we left so much just to have to go home and restart with nothing. Pray for us. Send us good vibes, please, because we really do need it.
This is why feminism is bad. Okay. You should have, ma'am, listen to your man. Your man's family told you, one, they're Mexican. Two, they're Mexican. And then three, they told you what the issues were in Mexico. You can be here, there, and everywhere, but the issues of the country remain the same. And she ignored that warning. Whoever the man that she's with, allowed her to be boisterous, I guess, because, we're here in America, allowed her to run this whole entire operation, only to have to come back a couple of months later with a sick child. Now, I'm pretty sure she didn't do her research, so the child is probably, not properly, versed on water in Mexico. And that's probably where he got the bacteria infection from. Or, certain foods, they don't have the whole, use gloves, use certain heat. Food can't sit out this long. Like, they don't have those regulations. And so people go over to these different countries and they look at, well, I've been here just for vacation, but the resorts and everything, they go by certain measures, certain regulations. It's not the same when you actually have to live and work in these places. And what a lot of people are finding is that these countries are not only way worse off than America, they're finding that, one, socialism isn't isn't a bright idea, isn't the best. Okay, all this government funded medical attention that, everybody seems to be caring about. Well, yeah, you don't have to pay for it, but if you actually want the care, you're going to have to come out of your pocket, which is going to cost way more than it would have cost in America, because now you have to pay for all of the services. It just goes to show the ignorance that we're living in nowadays. And I really do think that liberalism is affecting women, especially women of color, the most, to where they're putting their entire families in jeopardy, all because they don't like Orange Man bad and they don't like to be told what to do. Feminism is really killing American women and killing America.
My concern is, yeah, Mika, the man. How do you not put your foot down and say, we're not moving there? How do you
And
not
I'm
put your
I'm
foot down?
surprised. If we're going to talk about it, I'm surprised because Latino, Hispanic men, they usually put the foot down. So I am
Mhm.
totally surprised. That's why I say, maybe here, because he was here in America, but the Mexican family tried to tell him and
Yeah,
tried to tell her, but no, she wanted to experience it. And guess you did. And it might have been at the cost of your child.
Right.
absolutely.
Well, I can say welcome to the real world. It's good that she got a chance to experience what real world was all about, because they live in this crazy bubble that they believe all the rhetoric that they're being told by the left, and they psychologically are so inundated by it that they think that they're the brilliant ones, they're the smart ones, they're the intelligent ones, they understand life better than we do. And it's refreshing to see them have to confess, to go to confession, not to the father inside of a booth, but openly to the public, and say, I made a mistake. And a whole lot of y'all that are still in that bubble, y'all better pay attention to her. She's talking to you. She ain't talking to us. She's not talking to us. We knew it. She's talking to you. You need to pay attention. Pay attention before you make that trip.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Minister Danzel. I mean, Celeste, you said this, and I know I'm sure you're going to say this again, and I'm sure you're going to say it a multitude of times, on the platform. But people compare America to perfection instead of
Mm.
every other country around the world. I'm not sitting here saying that America is perfect, but I am saying that it is better than every other country around
Right.
the world. I am saying that much. And these people are messing around and finding out. And what's really unfortunate is
Yes.
that the children are suffering. This is the second person that came on here on this internet and talked about how they moved their children out of the United States. And we're moving back because, it's not a great place for our children. I can't find a job here. You thought, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, if you thought that the Mexican government was going to allow an American to come in and step over their own people, are you crazy? No other country does what we're doing here. They always put their people first. Always.
Well, you're absolutely correct. First of all, I want to start by saying I'm not mad that she left and her family left. However, I'm very angry that they're coming back, because now they are coming back with no jobs, no homes, no medical care, and they're getting ready to throw themselves on the social safety net, which means the taxpayers have to pay for this folly. We are going to have to take care of the husband, the wife, and now not only just a child, but a child who probably needs some, at least in the immediate term, significant medical help. And now that is all our bill. And why are we paying this bill? She told us, don't miss it. We are paying this bill because she wanted to live somewhere where she is and her children are the majority. Great. They were the majority. But a price to be paid for that is dysentery and some other type of bacterial infection. So you can't have it all, okay? Go be the majority and you have to suffer the dysentery. But you can't say, okay, you come back here. So you've made your choice. You're willing to be the minority now when you can get strong enough antibiotics. Now that's a trade you can make, and all of a sudden, Orange Man is not that bad when you can get powerful antibiotics. All of that goes away. Your need for acceptance, and this is the failure. And I've said this before of this multiculturalism. Everybody wants to say all the people are good, no matter where they are, no matter where they came from, they're good. Whether or not a group of people are good has nothing to do with how well they function. They may be good people. They certainly are here by God's design, and they will stay here as long as God wishes them to. But that doesn't mean they function well. That doesn't mean they govern well. And that doesn't mean that they create a thriving culture. This idea that all people, all cultures, and all governments are equal is the epitome of foolishness. And it is this type of foolishness that almost got her son killed. And she was worried about the racism, the violence of racism. What she should have been worried about is the violence of disease and the cartels.
No, you're absolutely right. Well, do you guys recall the lady that packed up her family? They moved out to Ghana. Do you guys recall that? They moved out to Ghana, and then she jumped on the internet and was like, man, I'd rather come and deal with the racism in America than the foolishness in Ghana. She's like, man, you know, these folks, they black, and they just getting us left and right. We're being robbed and scammed and left and right. Because she thought that she was going to go, because they had that mindset of, oh, we black and we going, you know, nah, that's not how this works.
Nope.
That's not how this works, man.
I need people to stop for a second. I need y'all, let's have a come to Jesus moment here on the Lord's internet today. I need y'all to stop and do some critical thinking, some common sense. Why are people taking the risk of trying to break into America? Why are people taking the chance of being deported and never being able to come back here and stay here in America, even though they've been told to self-deport? Why are they doing this? Why do we think that they are doing this? Could it be maybe that America only has what America has and y'all can't get it anywhere else? Like, can we come to some kind of come to Jesus moment, please, people? I don't understand you people. And the worst part is when Mexicans who lived in Mexico is telling you that Mexico is not the place for you to go, you still, with your big old hard head, decide to pack up you and your family and move there. You hate Donald Trump so much that you weren't even concerned about the well-being of your child. Look at that. Like, you hate him that much. You hate being on. Do you understand how TDS works? Like, I really feel like they need to do a full-on study on y'all, because you would rather endanger your family. As Celeste said, and I was thinking the same thing. You mean you'd rather move where there are cartels snatching people up and not thinking about the safety of your family because you are so filled with TDS and you want to move to places where people look like you? Do you understand? Again, I need people, everybody, let's say this together. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. I need y'all to understand that. Just because we look alike does not mean we think alike. Doesn't mean if you come into our country, we're going to be like, oh my gosh, we look alike, we're going to protect you. No, they're not. You're not one of them. You're not like them. In a lot of these countries, when they see Americans, they don't like them. I'm telling y'all right now. I'm going to leave y'all with my wise wisdom. Please go outside and touch the grass. This is why I say go outside and touch the grass. And the reason why I say go outside and touch the grass is if you had gone and actually done some investigation and stopped moving in your feelings. And that's a problem. When we talk about the feminist movement, the women nowadays, and I'm speaking about the liberal women especially, because the one thing I give conservative women, number one, they use common sense, logic, they seek God, they talk to their husbands, they get wisdom, they move in a different way. Those liberal women over there, and it doesn't matter if you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, I don't care what you are, Jewish, all of them over there, you move in a space of emotional manipulation. And that is why y'all move in that Jezebel spirit, because you want to be in charge. You want to usurp the head of the household. You want to usurp what God has already ordained, the proper order. And this is why everything looks the way that it looks.
Absolutely.
Stop falling for these emotional manipulations. Stop being so emotional. Your emotion almost got your son killed. Let's just be real. Your emotion almost took the life of your son, because instead of you stopping and take wisdom, this is not a good place for you all to go. They know what the medical looks like. It doesn't matter if they lived in a poorer area and y'all are moving into a fancy area. They know what the healthcare looks like. They know the job market looks like. They know the safety. They lived in Mexico. They came to America for a brand new life. Hello, wake up and stop over here getting in your feelings and running and leaving the country. We watched the lady in Canada say she escaped America, then she crying and want to come back. We see the one to go to Ghana, she crying, she want to come back. Another one went somewhere in South Africa, she crying, want to come back. You in Mexico, everybody want to come back because it is not as easy as y'all think. And stop allowing your emotions to blind you, because this is exactly what happens. You're going to come back with your tail between your legs because you didn't take wisdom.
Thank you,
But
Crystal. Wise, they have to understand that there are serious consequences about what having the wrong thinking. There are some serious consequences, not only to your own family, but think about what you're doing to America. Your thinking process is opening the doors for Islam to take over our nation, to take over our cities. Your thinking process is allowing the alphabet community to take over our media, our education. I mean, people who don't care about America and who don't love God are given preference because of your submission to their thinking. And you have to understand that you're accountable for that. You know, this is. I don't think that these people think about the consequences of their thinking and their actions. But
No, they
these are
don't.
what we're bringing out here now, Brother Wise. And thank you for playing those videos. You're showing them that there are consequences, and the people who are doing it are beginning to see those consequences.
I don't put as much blame on the young lady as I do on her husband.
Yep.
Good point.
Y'all are married. Y'all have 2 kids. At what point why did you not put your foot down and say, nah, we're not moving? And if that's something you want to do, by all means, you go do that. But me and the children, I'm staying here. I'm going to continue working my job. I'm going to continue taking care and providing for us right here in the good old United States of America. And I'm one of those kind of people like, hey, when the Mexicans say don't move down there, you probably should listen.
Believe
You know,
them.
when the folks from Africa tell you like, hey man, we came over here for a reason. Don't take your butt over there. You know what I'm saying? Listen. You know, like, man, like, what are y'all doing? Do y'all think y'all know better than the people that left these places?
Yes,
Come on.
they absolutely do. Just like the white liberals that went down there to Cuba, and I go to Cuba every year. But I'm American, so I get to stay in a nice hotel. I mean, I am super rich, okay, because I have air conditioning. So with that being said, you're down there talking about white, black, this and that, and socialism. There's white Cubans, there's black Cubans, there's mixed Cubans. I'm here to tell you, they don't care. They're all getting treated the same. So with that being said, that's not a motivation. And then they already live in communism and socialism. It doesn't work. They don't own it. And then to your point was why I spoke on the feminism, but I asked about the husband, because I think a lot of liberal men forget that it was the man, right? When you go to any honestly any major religion that I've ever seen has always held the man at the front, because it makes sense for the man to be the protector. It makes sense for the man to be the head. And when you come to Christianity, when all that happened with Adam and Eve, what did God say? Adam, where are you? He didn't ask Eve about anything because he put you in charge. So why are we talking to that woman? Why is she on the internet after she did that? Why are we talking to her? Where is your husband?
Seriously.
Where is your mate, your boyfriend? Whatever there is, whatever
In America.
going on, where is that?
Well, he's as I have always called him, he was a soy boy Adam. That is soy boy movement, because he was not a man. He was a soy boy. Adam was a soy boy because, as the word says, he was standing right there as Eve was listening to the serpent and watched her take the fruit. And he was right there. It wasn't like he was off somewhere and this was a surprise. So this husband sounds exactly like that same soy boy, spirit finger, Tim Waltz type of mindset. You didn't put your foot down and say, baby, I am from Mexico. My family's from Mexico. We know what Mexico's about. We're not going there. He just Okay,
Well,
baby, and
we
pack up
don't.
all their stuff.
But the thing is, he didn't even have to say that. He could have just said financially,
No,
this doesn't make sense for us.
no,
For the academics and education of our children, it doesn't make sense for us. For the health and safety of our children, it doesn't make sense for us to do this.
that's right.
He could have broke it down and explained exactly why we are not doing this. You want to go and visit? We can go and visit. We can go stay on a resort. We can go do 4, 5, 6 days, 7 days, whatever the case may be. But we are not uprooting, selling everything, and moving to Mexico. It's not happening.
Wise, no. I got to push back a little bit. You could have said that to your wife,
Thank you.
who is a reasonable woman who can actually think beyond just being emotional. That what you just said makes a lot of sense. Under no circumstances could he have said that to that woman, because if you remember what she said, her guiding force was that she was going someplace where she was going to be the majority. What she's saying is, I don't feel safe, I don't feel happy, and I don't feel whole being the minority here. That's not something his job, the children's education, their schooling, all they've done, they apparently had a home. Everything they built could not fix that for her, which is why, with his soy boy self, he had to uproot and throw his whole life's work away to run behind this woman in the hopes that she could feel whole, safe, and happy. This feminism has really gotten these women in an extremely difficult situation.
Yes.
And for any man who's trying to have some headship in his home, has got his back up against the wall, because it has put these women in a situation where they are crying out for something they cannot get, because the feminism has told them to want something that doesn't exist.
Amen.
And they're trapped. They're trapped in this craziness of, I want to feel a particular way, and the way they want to feel does not exist, but they believe it does, and they keep selling it to them. And so they're off doing self-care. They're off trying to manifest all kinds of religious and pagan gods. They're off doing ayahuasca. They're off on all of these retreats, healing retreats, and crystals and stones and
Sage and everything.
and all of this, trying to get something that does not exist. And any man who's trying to have authority over any of that, God help you, because it is going to be impossible for you to assert the way you want to live. Because these women, I'm telling you, Messi, you're right. You hit. People really need to look at what's going on with women. I am not anti-woman. I'm not. I'm telling you this because I am one. And to be honest, I have sympathy for many women because I understand it.
Absolutely.
But I'm saying they have put us in absolutely crazy, unwinnable situation. And for the men that love us, God bless you, because it's going to be, especially these liberal women, it's going to be a difficult road ahead. That quench cannot be thirst until she comes to the realization that what you are looking for, which is everything, I want it all, cannot be given to you. It is impossible and it is unavailable. Until she reconciles with that, I don't know what to tell y'all. Y'all going to Mexico.
I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. Join us Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning. And as always, keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But thanks be to God, He gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, fear can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. Then the Lord hit my chest, kicked air from my breath, put power in my step.